Good morning, Tackle Warehouse fans. Jake here with this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. Got a bunch of stuff in stock. Tons of new items been coming into stock lately. It's a great time to get out there. Fall bites right around the corner. All the pleasure boaters are getting off the lake. A lot of guys are going out in the deer stand, so a lot of times you get the lake to yourself. So a few things we got for you today. The first one is from ABT Lures. This is the new Suicide Soft Glide. This is an awesome glide bait. ABT makes some of the coolest swim baits out there on the market. Unlike most glide baits that are hard plastic, resin on the outside, this is actually has a soft plastic exoskid. So just like a soft plastic swim bait, but now in a glide bait version. So gets super natural, wide gliding action back and forth that, fish can't stand that action, and it draws big fish from all over the place. What's cool about this glide bait as well is it has the 3 hooks on it. A lot of glide baits don't have 3 hooks on them, so this tremendously increases your hookup ratio, especially with that first one up there in the front tucked into that little hook slot. Keeps it from snagging on a lot of cover. With the exo skin on it as well, you get those little side fins, a soft tail, so it just looks way more natural in the water than any other glide bait. Definitely going to want to check that one out for upcoming swim bait season. All right, the next lot I got here is all from Ledge Hog. So the first one here is their Ledge Hog blade bait. So it comes in 3 sizes. We have it in a 3/4 and a 1 3/4 and then a 3 3/4. So a massive one right there for fishing really deep. What's cool about these is they have 5 holes on them, line tie positions on the top. And even with this 3 3/4 ounce blade bait, if you put it all the way into the fifth hole on the back, you can wake this thing across the surface. Even with a steady retrieve, you don't even have to reel it that fast. So just, you can target any section of the water column with these blade baits, and it produces just a tremendous vibration. They got some super cool colors. Got triple grip hooks on them right out of the package. Really cool blade bait you want to check out. All right, next up from Ledge Hog, we got their Slow Fall spoon. So this spoon, like the big flutter spoons are really popular for all the ledge guys. This one is a little bit thinner material, and it's got a deeper cup to it. So it does have a lot slower, more methodical fall to it. It's not as aggressive as some of the other big flutter spoons. The next one we got here is their new Scissor Jig Swim Jig. This is a really cool jig design. I'm really stoked to try this thing out. As you can see here, it's got 2 hooks on it. So the hooks spread apart. It has a screw lock in the middle, and then you rig your soft plastic swim bait or whatever kind of trailer you want, with the 2 hooks inside of it. So it's completely streamlined. So you don't have to run a weed guard. This thing goes through cover, fantastically. And then when the fish bites, both those hooks deploy, and you get 2 hooks instead of 1. So just an awesome idea from Ledge Hog. Just gonna be great for fishing through every cover. And the last one we got their new double Willow spinnerbait. Now these are heavy duty spinnerbaits. They come in 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces, and 2 ounce. And heavy duty wire, I believe it's 50 thousandths wire. Big blades on there, premium ball bearing swivel, so they're gonna spin at any speed. They also got hand tied skirts, heavy duty hooks on there. So these aren't your typical spinnerbaits you're gonna throw on, a 6.5 foot, 7 foot rod with 12-pound line. These are heavy duty baits. You wanna use a heavy action rod, heavy line, and not a lot of people throw this big of a spinnerbait. I personally like to throw spinnerbaits like this style out in 30, 40 feet. And I mean, these blades fight you back on the way. You can feel them down there thumping. So they produce a tremendous amount of vibration, and these generate some big bites too. You can put a swim bait trailer on there, really big profile, just something that a lot of people throw, the big crankbaits and stuff like that down there on the ledges. This is something that a lot of guys don't ever try. So definitely gonna want to throw that in the arsenal for your deep fishing. All right, we got a bunch of stuff from 13. I believe we got 20, 25 new products. I could do a whole show on just all the 13 baits that have come out. So definitely want to go on the new product page to check out all the new stuff from 13. Just got a small sampling here. So this first one here is the Cliff Banger Crankbait. The first thing you notice right out of the package, it actually has the dive depth printed right on the bill. So really cool. They got them in 3 different sizes. I believe it's a 8 foot, 12 foot, and 15 foot diver. So you always know which one you're grabbing. And it's just nice to know, after you've had crankbaits for years or so, they've been sitting in a box, forget kind of, what their zone is. Really nice that they have that printed on there. They got a weight transfer system in there, and then the rattles are really loud. So it's kind of a unique pitch. It's not really a deep one knocker, and it's not a high pitched single rattle, kind of in between. Out of the box, they come with nice split rings, KVD triple grip hooks already on them. You don't have to do any upgrades with these crankbaits right out of the box. And I believe they come in about 20 different colors. So, I mean, a lot of options there on the new Cliffhanger. The next one, the one I like the most out of the hard baits, is the new Loco Special. What's cool about this, it's a 4.5-inch jerkbait, but they come with 2 bill sizes. So you can get a 3 to 5 foot diver or a 6 to 9 foot diver. Sometimes, especially coming up in the fall, you know, the fish are a little bit deeper sometimes. So the 6 to 9 foot diver is a little bit, you know, not a lot of jerkbaits get down to that depth, and just getting that action down there where fish don't see it that often. Just like the other hard baits, triple grip hooks on them right out of the package. Awesome colors, you know, detailed gill plates, you know, 3D eyes, just awesome little jerkbaits there. Next up, we got their new, their Poppin Trash Panda. This is a cool frog. They also have it in a regular pointed nose, a non-popping version as well. On the bottom, they have the shrink tube seal around here, so you're not gonna get any water going up into the body. It's completely sealed. And the weight is actually integrated, you know, inside the belly of the bait. So you don't have that big, you know, that big lead weight down here around the hook. So when the bait collapses, you get a lot more, the body collapses a lot more and you get a lot better hookup ratio. So just cool little idea. They got the blowhole on top, so, you know, it collapses really quick. And they also added the extra little flash into the skirt there. So, I mean, 99% of the frogs out there don't have that, so just a little bit different flash than all the other ones out there. All right, now there's soft plastics. Bunch of different soft plastics came in as well. Soft plastic, we got worms, craws, Swimbaits, bunch of stuff you're gonna wanna check out. This first one, you know, just a standard straight tail style worm. This is their BFF blunt nose worm. Fully ribbed body, so it, you know, produces a pretty good vibration, but it's made from a super high floating plastic. And then you got the little hook slots on there, so your hook's always gonna be, you know, nice and exposed and fully weedless. Just a great little worm you always need to have on standby. This next one here is their Wobble Craw. What's cool about this craw, it has these patented rabbit ear tails on them. A lot of their baits have these patented rabbit ear tails, so they produce, you know, a nice wide kicking action. You know, even in cold water, these things aren't gonna stiffen up and lose their action. And these Wobble Craws actually have a hollow slot in there, so you can add a rattle to it. You know, you can pump it full of scent if you want. These are great as a jig trailer. You can put them on a Carolina rig, a wobble head, a Texas rig. I mean, almost limitless options with these craws. The last one we got here is a cool little swim bait. It's actually called My Name is Jeff. It's an awesome little swim bait. This has the hollow chamber inside as well, so you can add a rattle to it. And they built this to go onto a wobble head. Not a lot of people fish a swim bait on a wobble head, but it does get a really cool action. I've caught a lot of fish doing that personally myself. But this thing, it's got, you know, really small tail on it and a nice little like fin rudder on there. So it's not as, you know, it's not a big crazy wide kicking action, more of a finesse style swim bait. You can rig this on a jig head too if you want, and you can run it on, you know, a small screw lock swim bait hook. A little bit different action, a little bit different profile than most of the swim baits out there. So make sure you check out all the stuff from 13 Fishing that's recently got into stock. All right, that's all we got today. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase the product seen here today, make sure to click shop or link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about.